Am I just on your phone?
Yeah, I don't know how to set up the connection on my computer to a show.
Yeah, I've looked into it. It can be a bit of a pain.
Uh, okay. Okay. They'll be winning this locomotive that I built for the contest.
That's amazing. Look at that. That's crazy.
Yeah, these are actually the smokestacks are straws.
No way.
These grills are from cap bottles from plastics, and I scratch built soda cans from fans. I don't know if that's hard to see.
Oh my goodness. How did you make the fans inside?
Well, I make a circle, and then I cut them like like uh
Like a blade shape?
uh like a triangle shape, and
Yeah.
then I just bend them, and that's how I made this look.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Good for you, Nathan.
It's an honor for you to be here.
What's that?
It's an honor for you to be here.
Well, thanks, man. I'm honored to be on here. I'm excited.
Okay.
This is great. Yeah, I can't believe you built that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I have
Cool,
wait, what?
I was just gonna say I'm using on the steam engines I'm building. There's one part where it's like a pop valve and like a check valve closer to the cab, so I needed a circle that kind of surrounded that, and so that's what I used a straw too. It's like you did. I just cut it and put it over a dowel, and then built it up a little bit, and nobody would ever know it unless I told you.
Yeah.
Really cool.
So let's see. I have 7 people into the contest.
Nice.
Okay, let's. Wilmer's in here.
Awesome.
Drew. Let's see. Back over to the audience. I have 7 people, like I said, of people who enter the contest, and if I could just go down to the camera. Okay. I'll just have to look up to the ceiling so I won't cheat or anything. And the winner is, let's see, I'm not a very good reader. Very big par 4449. That's the winner for the contest. So whoever this is the winner.
You want me to read it out?
You can have one.
Alright. Very big copy 4449.
You are the winner, Valley Big Par Happy. You won this locomotive. I wanted to make a good surprise. That's why I didn't make a video about it. but I do have a video I wanted to show. If do you want me to move my phone to the screen to show the footage I did?
Doesn't matter. I don't care.
Okay.
Hi everyone.
If I could see, here it is.
That's amazing, Nathan.
Thanks.
Great job. That is crazy. I can't believe that. That's about the one thing I was going to ask you. It was if it ran and you showed it running.
Actually, it's a dummy locomotive, so I had another locomotive at the end pushing it.
Oh, nice. Tricked me.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I have another. Have you heard of British Patent? I don't know if you do. It's a British museum.
What's that, sir? What about it?
British Patent.
Oh.
It's a museum. It's not just about like trains or locomotives. It also has scratch built locomotives that they done in the past, before after World War II.
No way.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
actually.
that's amazing. Whereabouts is it?
I heard about it. There's a magazine about. It's called BRM, and it actually has it had British Patents, so that's how I knew about it. And then it explained the guy who owned the building for the museum did not know how, so he had his friends make scratch built locomotives for him.
Oh, okay. That's really cool. I'll have to check it out.
So this is British Patent. Let's see, history. Let's see, it started as a village, and basically the village, it's like an old cottage, but the cottage, it was like fading away, so then he decided to capture the change by modeling. So every building is scratch built. Some locomotives are like.
No way.
And let's. But. And the other side is, why is scratch building awesome? You can use your imagination. If you build your own, it's 100% yours because it is designed from the build.
Mm-hmm.
It will let's see. Special. It's oh yes. It will be a special locomotive.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing like it, eh?
Yeah.
I can't believe your the fans that you put in your locomotive there that you're giving away. You just inspired me because I wanted to make a load of propellers. Because in my hometown there was a factory that made propellers for ships, and I have a bunch of old photos of propellers coming out on flatbeds. And I was trying to think of a way of where to buy them or something. So you just inspired me to how to make them. I'm just going to do you did, and load them up on flatbeds and off you go.
Thanks.
There you go. So thanks, Nathan.
You're welcome.
Teaching me something new.
Hmm.
You learn something new every day, eh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how how does it inspire you for model railroading?
Yeah. So you wanted to know about like my inspirations for modeling?
Like let's see. Like what?
How do you what inspires me to model?
Yep.
Yeah. So originally, I guess like I was saying on that one show, something that I left out. So I was talking about that trip to British Columbia that I did with my family. But something that I did years before that, there was a tour train in Northern Ontario called the Agua Canyon Tour Train. And that was ran by the Algoma Central, which you guys saw my Algoma Central engine on that last live stream. And so what that was a tour train. It was about a 2-hour ride. You get on in the morning in Sault Ste. Marie, and you go for about 2 hours. You have breakfast on the train and everything, and then you get off in the actual Agua Canyon, which is this massive canyon that you never know. It's in the middle of nowhere, and it was absolutely beautiful. And the tracks would just wind through there. So it's kind of between that and British Columbia, just the mountain scenery, the tall pines, the mix of rock and trees is what inspired me. So then, like I said, from that British Columbia trip, I kind of went back and forth between British Columbia and Northern Ontario. And then I decided that it would be more proportionate for mountain size and everything to go with Northern Ontario, because the mountains in British Columbia are massive. Like you could build mountains from the floor to the ceiling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it still wouldn't capture it. So I thought maybe it'd be a little more realistic in Northern Ontario. Well, then something I was asked a lot was, why don't you do your hometown? Especially when I lived back in Coleman Owen Sound, why don't you model Owen Sound? And I always said, you know what, there's nothing really there. It was the end of the line. Nothing happened. I rarely saw a train. I only saw the one. I was telling you guys about. But it wasn't until I read that book by Dean Wilson. And I've researched Owen Sound. It's hard to find information, especially on the CNR side. When I read that book by Dean Wilson, oh wow, what a place it was. You had 2 passenger trains coming in, 2 passenger trains going out. You had a wave break coming in and a wave break going out. So 2 separate wave breaks. It wasn't a turn. It was 2 separate coming in and coming out. had the wire to mix, which was a turn. And then you'd have at least one or two grain extras that would come in and switch to grain elevators full of grain box trains. You had, around 10, it was super busy, 10 trains. And on top of that, you had the interchange, the CP rail, which was a really cool interchange because it went across a bridge, down an alleyway, so smoothly running, and then back onto the CP side, which was on the other side of the harbor. And all that was there as well. So that's where the inspiration is now for what I'm modeling is 1950s Inland Sound. So a lot of steam. Mainly steam is a big one. It's actually not really prototypical to putting diesels on for the time that I'm running. There's only a couple that go in at that time on the print. So, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of rambled there, right?
Let's see. There's hi Dwight Crewley. Hi. Somebody commented on the live stream.
Oh, what'd they say?
Hi.
Oh, hello. Hi guys.
I think when I first before I knew the Red Deer Northern Railroad, there's a railroad called WKNS Railroad. It's its own railroad because it's not connected to any railroads. If it would be, it would be impossible because they're like far apart from each other in each direction. So I was a big fan of it before when I was a little kid. I remember wearing a train shirt as a little kid of the WKNS Railroad. And
No way.
yeah. And they had like 3 steam locomotives, one still totally apart. But sadly, the WKNS Railroad is trying to get more money to fix their locomotives.
Oh, I see. But it's sad, eh?
Yeah.
There's so many around here that aren't running anymore. There was a good one called the Tottenham Railroad, and they had a really cool Canadian Pacific 10-wheeler, and apparently it's out of service now, and it's not going to be running again. It's really disappointing.
Yeah. There, let's see, I kind of grew up with the Red Deer Northern. There was a steam locomotive that's not part of the Red Deer Northern. It's a New Jersey locomotive. It's called Project 113. So that's been that way since it's been restored when I was a little kid. Then when I got maybe middle school, when I was still a little kid or somewhere there, they got it running.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, the interesting about that is my sister had a friend over, and it turns out that her friend his dad owned that locomotive, and the sad part about him was he was blind, so it got passed down to one generation before him.
No way.
Yeah.
What a crazy story. So I was watching your one video. You were filming the Reading. You know what's funny? I always said reading. I mispronounce everything. So
it's okay. What?
You were filming the Reading Railroad, and there was it looked like a station where you said, I think the CEO or something worked in the office was in there. Is that close to your house?
There is a... You mean the one that says Burrow Day, or?
I can't remember. It was a long building along the tracks. You said something about somebody working in the office.
That's their headquarters. Yeah, I'm not. It's kind of a distance, but there is a train station. I don't think I haven't. It's mainly the videos where. Let's see. There's. Right next to my house, there's a station, but I don't think I haven't seen. It's like in the distance. But where I live, there's a steel mill called Gersona. It's like a. It only melts aluminum into these big giant blocks, and they ship them out to for the Red Day Northern to pull.
Wow. That's so cool.
And let's see. the I heard the guy who owns a railroad named Andy Mower of the Red Day Northern. He always likes trains. One time I saw on Facebook, it was actually the guy who was on the news, and I think he might have said that some of the coal went to Canada. Yeah, I think it went to Canada.
Back in the day?
I think right now, actually.
Really?
From then to now. I'm not sure when then, but there's a miscommunication where people say that no, it's Reading, Blue Mountain, and Northern, but when I used to volunteer for the Railroad Technical Historical Society, and you might be wondering what's the difference. Well, there are two different railroads. So one's basically plain old Reading word, and the other one just Reading Northern. So then, the reason why I'm mentioning that is because there were two guys who worked for the Reading Northern. One worked for Signals, one worked for Track. And the one who worked for Track says they were both the same railroads, they just were named differently, but then they got grouped together when they expanded.
No way. That's neat. How long did you volunteer there for?
2015 until 2018. My last video was Timonium. There was I don't know if I can say it because it will sound bad, but yeah, me and my dad stopped doing it.
Yeah. Huh. That happens. That happened with me and the club that I was in. And big part with the club, main thing was it was just too far away for me to drive there. We ended up moving out east of Toronto, out by a place called Oshawa, and it was in Scarborough, so it would take almost an hour to get there. It just ended up just keeping me not going anymore.
Yeah. If my parents said that if I was able to live closer to the museum, they said I could go almost any time I want there, but that's not possible because of the distance.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's cool that you did that. I don't know if you saw I did a video of when I got to drive the Elko locomotive.
I seen that video.
That?
I did.
That was they were asking me if I could volunteer, and I would love to, but it's just the time too, right? I have my small business and my daughter, hockey and other things, and then model railroad, and then a YouTube channel. So I just don't have time for it, but I would have loved to do it. Maybe in the future if I'm going to slow down.
Let's see a comment. This one says, the same guy said hi. Who are you talking to? I'm talking to Creative Rails. Named Ben. He's an awesome guy. Yeah. Let's see. So, yeah, I always admired the Red Day Northern. Like other people, I got inspired because it was so close to me.
Yeah.
But it's not all the time, but I think it's kind of often that Andy Moore drives his trains at the place where I live.
It's really cool. And that's like me. That's something I didn't cover. I think you kind of model and like what you grow up with. So originally I was a Canadian Pacific guy. So, like, I was into SD40-2s and Jeeps and stuff in the Canadian Pacific Multi-Mart paint scheme. That's the one with the white and the black triangle, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like in the 90s. It'd be like in the 90s, right, when I was a little kid. And so that's what I modeled. I love that. And the only reason I went over to CNR, I was at a train show, and they had this long, somebody had this long, black tank train sneaking through, just crawling along. There was just something about that CNR, the wet needle logo, and everything being all black, and the black paint cars, just got me interested in CN. That's all it was. It was nothing, nothing. I didn't grow up because it was long gone by the time I could remember. And I think also a friend of mine, when we were in school, we did a little project on paint, and I was a little kid. One of my friends brought the CN locomotive with the zebra stripes. And that kind of stuck in my mind too. So that's basically all that happened. I just started collecting wet noodle stuff. And then I ended up coming across a CNR RS3 in the old gold and olive green paint scheme. That was the end of it. Just let the paint scheme, it had nothing to do with the railroad grade. And then I kind of worked backwards. Then I started finding out, researching in my hometown and finding out everything. And it was as simple as that. It was really just about a paint scheme. It wasn't even about my history with it. Now I'm like a big CN guy. The club, they called me CN Ben before Boxcar Benny.
Yeah. Well, let's see. There's two interesting things. When I was like 5 years old, I met a guy named Joel Hollybeck. He's in one of my videos called Joel's Layout. Something I kind of forget the name, but it's basically that. He got inspired by the Pennsylvania Railroad because he was close to it, very close to it, the house there. I heard he's expanding the layout, which the video doesn't show because it's a little older, but because he moved. Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. I kind of explained that. I did not know what to say back then because I was on Comparison Show the one time. I asked Daniel Coons if I could call you, and then he said yes. So then I was on the show on one of their live streams from the FaceTime like we're talking right now.
No way! I didn't know you were on Ken Patterson's show. That's really cool.
So that was on the one time.
What was that? Was that fun? Were you nervous?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then when I watched it, when the live stream was over, I kind of got a little embarrassed because I thought I was talking a little bit of nonsense about my friend Joel moving and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, people probably liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Dirk Reynolds has his own YouTube channel, so Dirk Reynolds on the show, he asked me, Nathan, what do you model? I said, Rydeen Northern, and he goes, what scale? HO scale. And then afterwards I did not know what to say, and then I kind of like, oh no, what my ideas, and then at least Dirk Reynolds says, do you want Daniel Coons to show you the whole place of the basement where Comparison was? And he actually did.
No way. That is amazing. I just started following Daniel Coombs the other night. I think he was on Sparky's live stream. I wouldn't have known who it was unless Sparky said who it was. So I clicked on him, like, oh yeah, it is. That's him.
Yeah.
He seems like a cool guy. Apparently he's a DCC whiz. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually sent Dan Coons a scratchbuilding locomotive after when I did the live stream with Comparison. It wasn't painted or anything because I wasn't too sure what, but But I did ask him if he still had the locomotive, and he said he did. He said he had a couple plans, but he said he doesn't have time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's actually based on a lifelike locomotive, one of those modern Amtrak locomotives, but it was in Union Pacific before I turned into scratch built locomotive.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So what, can I ask you a question? What inspires your locomotives that you do? Does it just, do you just kind of make it up as you go, or do you come up with a little bit of a plan, or do you just grab a chassis and just go to town?
I think I see a part or something that I have. Like for example, Shori, I'm thinking, oh, that'll look cool with maybe a little bit of imagination. Or the reason why I did my Duchess of Hamilton, because I always wanted one, and I always had this idea probably since middle school or something. Not too sure when it started. But then when we were at Timonium show, that's where I bought it. It was $75. So then my dad said, if this thing fails, we can sell it to a Gordon again. But I don't know if I kind of kept that promise because I kind of wrecked it a little bit, and then but at least it turned awesome at the end.
That is wicked.
Yeah.
That's so cool. They do turn it. I love them. It's so neat.
Yeah.
What I think's funny too is, well, you were just on Steve Brown's show. I saw you guys in the chat.
Oh, you mean YouTube Mauer builds?
No, the one that was just before your show. Steve Brown, like the Track Smack live stream. They were talking about weathering, and Ron was on there. And so I saw you in there in the chat and sparking in some people, and I just think it's funny how the full-grown men that are afraid to try weathering, a cheap freight car, and then we have you who will go and take a brand new, running steam locomotive and just go to town on it. I think it's just brilliant what you do. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
My first scratch building one was a Bachmann Gordon. So then I did a tank engine after that, but that was kind of a fail because it wasn't designed to hook together with the gears and the wheels. So I tried multiple times to fix it, and I accidentally destroyed the motor because the frame on it is plastic, and I was trying to solder wires.
Oh yeah.
So then I damaged two motors, and then I figured it won't work anyway, and then I decided to turn to a dumb engine, and then that didn't work. I thought it'll look better if it was sitting on a siding. So I took the bell, whistle, and light off and turned into a different looking locomotive, but still kind of the same locomotive.
That's cool. The other thing about was history of scratch building. You wanted to know about my history of scratch building?
You can.
What was that?
Well, I tried to look up research, but on Wikipedia, but I don't think it didn't work out that great.
Oh, so you're talking. That's when you're talking about the British Museum in
Yeah, I decided to switch to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's neat. So that's in England?
Pretty much.
Okay. One thing that I learned from your show too was that guy, I can't remember his name offhand, but the guy that scratch builds boilers out of styrene.
Oh yeah.
And I got him off of your channel. Man, what an amazing guy, really. Like, I went on his channel because that's where I kind of got my idea for how I'm doing mine. But it was on I think it was a Facebook forum or something, doing that, rolling the styrene and then boiling it. So I tried that and it didn't work out very good for me. So that's how I got the idea of doing the conduit, of wrapping conduit with styrene and building it up. But yeah, that guy's absolutely incredible what he's doing. Did you see how many locomotives he has that he's done?
Yeah. I did the same thing where I looked on his Facebook page, and then a couple of years later, when I searched for random scratch building trains, and that's how I found him.
Wow. You know, it's a small world. I bet you he's the one that I found years ago on that forum, and now he's doing the YouTube thing. I bet you it's the same guy, but I haven't seen that anywhere else.
Yeah, he on one of his videos, I definitely know that he made a Henry and a Gordon locomotive. They're kind of the same locomotives, but one wheel that's not on one of them. But the point is that he actually made two different locomotives out of them.
Wow. That is so cool. Amazing.
Oh, have you heard of the Great Mall Railway Challenge? It's another British one. It was on TV, but it's not.
Thing, right?
Wait, what?
That's the thing with Kathy Millett. She's the host.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard. I haven't seen it. I tried to look it up on YouTube, but I couldn't find it. I mean, it's probably not posted yet. New. Have you seen it?
I see it on YouTube actually. A full couple of episodes.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look it up again so I can find it.
Yeah, it's not just Kathy Miller I found before. It's actually started when I got into... Before that, I got into British trains. I thought, oh, this looks pretty cool. No offense, but I think the British trains are more cooler because of the fashion. But then I saw two people. Well, first one does sci-fi locomotives, and he got onto the Great Mall Railway Challenge. And there's one with random numbers, I think, but his main logo has 88. He was on there as well, so he got a Flying Scotsman locomotive. That's a British locomotive, and he recreated into a non-realistic by you see there's a railroad in England which nationalized 4 railroads, and that railroad became all one. And he was trying to represent if they would have continued steam back then.
No way. That's so cool. I was gonna say, like, so Ken Patterson's trying to bring that to America, isn't he? The Great Model Railroad Challenge, that kind of idea.
I think I heard the same thing, but I'm not too sure how he would do it.
Yeah. I saw when he was interviewing Kathy Miller, she was saying, like, basically that was a production company, and they brought her on, and they kind of ran the thing. It's a neat idea. I don't know if it will be. Apparently, it was really successful in Britain, you know.
Yeah.
But train spotting is more. They call it train spotting there, like, just rail filming. It's a lot more popular and common there. Whereas here, when people find out that I love trains, they think I'm totally weird. You know what I mean? But in England, it's very common. Everybody, does it there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, the strangest part when I think about England and America is that America is not too much. It's mostly on cars, but I think England is more on trains, and I'm thinking, how is that even possible if America's bigger than England?
Yeah.
And I think I heard this a couple of times, it's kind of more of the money side.
Yeah. Could be. I know, the cool thing with the Brits, too, that I like is, they pretty well, in my opinion, they came up with the switching layout idea. And I think because they have less space. Like, when I was in England when I was in high school, and they don't care as much about big houses and stuff. So a lot of people have condos and, like, smaller homes. Didn't have room for big layouts. But I think it was them that really came out with the switching idea. And that's where I got the idea from an old model railroad. It was actually a British show that were showing. They showed, like, this aging elevator and everything. That was all invented by European people. I thought it was really cool. And then once I started doing it, I fell in love with it.
Yeah. The reason why, well, the Duchess of Hamilton is still around, the one that my first one, Scratch Brewing model was. It doesn't look like in the model. Well, first it was the Coronation Sky, which it was in blue, originally in blue, and then they had a next one that was red and golden to represent the LMS. That's the railroad. Well, they call it railway, but the reason why I it has a bell and a light and American coupler, and those didn't have that when it was in England. But the reason why I put them on is I thought if when I was during the build, I thought it wouldn't make sense if it was just a complete locomotive that was British. So I decided well, before World War II, it went to the New York's Fair in America, and then during World War II, they shipped it back. So it actually ran on its own power there. That's why it's like that now.
Isn't that amazing they put those on ship?
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. But that is crazy.
Yeah, I think the rarest history about the Flying Scotsman locomotive is that they said it was already an old locomotive, so then it was the Duchess of Hamilton. Then a couple years later, when steam was fading, the British, that's nationalized into one, they actually didn't want the Flying Scotsman on there, so the guy who owned it took it to America, and he drove it until the sad part is that it was barely a close shot. And what I mean by that is he ran it until he was totally dried with money, and then another guy had to buy it and ship it back to England, and now it's a complete good-looking locomotive again.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh. I just love the old stories. What you're talking about. It's so amazing how everything ties together. There's one story, I forget his name, but it was when they were amalgamating the Canadian Northern and the Grand Trunk to become the Canadian National. But back then, Canada was still, a major part of Britain. So he had to go back to England to try to get money to get the Canadian National going, right? On his way back to North America, he bought a ticket for a brand new ship that came out, the biggest ship in the world. It's called the Titanic. And he didn't make it. So that's part of the Canadian national history that most people wouldn't know. One of the founders that was getting the money going died on the Titanic on the way back.
Yeah.
Neat, eh?
Yep. Actually, I think I do have some relatives that are no longer around. Like, I heard my grandma said she lives in Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania, and what I heard from her was that I had someone named Packard, and he went on the Mayflower, and the Mayflower's the one who goes to America before it was a country and then turned into. Yeah.
No way. You're kidding me.
Nope.
That's crazy.
At least that's what I heard from my grandma. But yeah. I heard.
One of your original descendants was on the Mayflower.
Yeah. And I heard there's like a house still left, but it's been modernized in England, right next to London. I heard there's like a website, but my grandma wasn't able to not find it because it was that hard.
That is so cool. Holy, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really neat.
Yeah. What's your favorite locomotive?
Steam or diesel?
Steam engines.
I think still, I don't know why. I think still the Canadian National Mogul. It's a little too 6-0. There's a series of them. They ran from around number 80 to about 93, I believe. And the one that went into my hometown was number 86. Very common to see. And I don't know what it is. It's just a little beautiful engine. I think when you see them in real life, like they look so tiny when they're models, because we're comparing them to like big boys and stuff. And like, you know, I like mine when I was collecting originally. I gotta have it sitting next to big paddles. They look tiny. When you see them in real life, they're still massive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think I just like the Mogul just for that. It's just a tiny little guy that did everything. They would put it on passenger train, they would run it on the wage rate, they run it on the grain extras. They kind of did everything. And yeah, that's really all it is, just the Mogul. And then the next one would be the 210 which was what I was talking about the other night, just because it's so fast. That was the biggest engine that ran in the game.
Yeah, I think it's Union Pacific that owns a big boy now, the original railroad, because they only restoring one big boy.
Is this not running yet?
No, but at least they have restoration videos on their own YouTube channel.
Yeah. I've come across some of those videos, so I wasn't sure if it was running yet or not. It's got to be getting close. I saw the underframe and everything, it was all moving and running, and I think everything is going on it, so it could be long.
Yeah.
That'd be something to see.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. I remember, and where Sparky's modeling St. Thomas, I was in the museum there when I was in college, and I think it was a Northern Type in there. And I just standing beside it, the wheels were taller than me. Just massive, just huge. I couldn't imagine, you know, seeing that thing go. Back in the day, you know?
Yeah. Steamtown has a big boy. I was there only when I was like a little kid in middle school. And what I didn't like about Steamtown, just one little thing, they had a locomotive there. I'm pretty sure it's still there. On one side it's looking fine, normal locomotive, but on the other side they have parts of it that are cut, so you can see the working of how it works. They painted the inside of the boiler and stuff like that.
I've heard of that. Is it neat?
Yeah, but when I was a little kid it was kind of disappointing.
See it cut up?
Yeah.
I can see that. That would be upsetting.
Yeah.
Seeing it hacked up. Poor thing. That is cool though that they do that.
Yeah. Did you know England's the first one who made the first steam train?
Yeah, I was pretty sure I knew that. Yeah. You can get... Isn't it Bachmann that makes a model of that? I'll have to look again. It's really neat. It's like an old... It's like a, you know, almost looks like a flat car with like a little thing on it and like just like one wheel that pushes like the side rod on an angle. Going like this. I'll have to look. They make some old models like
I heard the first train that was ever built, I don't know if it's still around, but the first one had gears on it right to the wheels and to the piston, and there was no brakes on it, so they had to reverse it right away to make it stop.
No way.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
There's a working replica of it in England.
It's really neat.
Yeah, I heard they
I just love it. Go ahead.
I heard they first made it for a purpose like any other thing, that donkeys would pull coal from the coal mines, and that's where the tracks came from, and then they decided to replace those donkeys with that steam locomotive.
Absolutely amazing. I often think too, like especially in both the States and Canada, it was really made up of, you know, big cities, but then really just these small rural towns, and all they had, their only connection with the rest of the world was the railway. Could you imagine how exciting it would be being a little kid and seeing the train coming in? You know what I mean? With like goods and merchandise and people. Think of people like out in the prairies and everything. You know, they'd be so isolated, and then you'd see the train coming in, and I just can imagine how thrilling that would be seeing that happen.
Yeah. When let's see, a couple 2018 I did a recent, kind of not as recent, but I did a presentation the one time about Kim Patterson. It was a PowerPoint, and then after that, and I showed the whole class one of his videos about him being as a kid, and then I did British Pat and the BRM YouTube channel. That's a magazine. I showed another. Well, I couldn't show the whole thing because my teacher wouldn't let me see the whole thing because it was too long, like 20 minutes. But it did
Awesome.
but it did prove a good point about the museum and Kim Patterson.
That is so cool. So most kids, they'd be getting in trouble for not having a long enough presentation, and your presentation was too long.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that took like 2 days to do because of how long Comparison's video was about when he was a kid. I kind of showed the whole thing.
Good for you. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool show, Comparison. And that's, when I got into YouTube, I think I was telling you guys, I always watched YouTube on Apple TV. I never watched it on the computer or on my phone or anything, so I was watching it more as television. I didn't know when I kind of started this, I didn't know this was all on here. Like live chatting and interacting with people. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with that story, but it just, Ken Patterson was one of the first people I watched, because it was just one of those channels that got recommended. And I watched them a lot.
I seen videos when I was a kid on YouTube, mostly about trains, and then first person I really liked was DJ's Trains. He's a train driver for CSX.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He actually drove.
Yeah. He said he had a story about a reality story that one of the CSX engines drove, and then I don't know what part it is, but it was something with the engine caught on fire, and he was able to stop it in time before he stopped in the middle of a tunnel.
Oh. That'd be scary. Engines on fire and heading for a tunnel.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Luke Talon, of course. That's a big channel now, eh?
I don't know if I heard of it.
Oh, Luke Talon, he's an Australian. He's I would think he'd have the biggest. Now he's gotten a little bit away from model railroading. He does more like dioramas and stuff. But I think he's up probably close to 1 million subscribers. For the modeling aspect, I think he'd be one of the bigger ones. That's something too I did when I was looking for inspiration. I started following those guys that do like that wargaming terrain and stuff. Have you ever seen that?
I think I've seen a train set about it, but I'm not too sure.
And then Kathleen Millett, she does a bit of that too. It's like that terrain building, terrain. And they've got some different ideas, and they're like big into the foam core carving and stuff like that. So I think they've kind of taken model railroad ideas and made it their own, and then it kind of goes back and forth. But I started following some of those just to see something a little different. And it's neat seeing how the two hobbies kind of coincide and go back and forth. But that's kind of what Luke Talon's doing. Not that, but he's doing more dioramas. I think that's why he's so big, because both those hobbies he's following him.
Yeah. Yeah, first live stream I did, like I said, was comparison. Then I went to YouTube Marbles 2 times, and then I had sort of an interview with us SMT Media, which is Scrumptious, on my
I saw
YouTube
that.
channel.
Yeah, I watched that. And I saw you on with Big Bill
Mhm.
on the Model Builders. That was a good show.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna be on his show, right?
You mean YouTube Marble Builds?
Yeah, on Big Bill's in February.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think Wilmer hooked that up. Wilmer told him about me,
Mhm.
and it went from there. I'm really excited. A little nervous, but
Yeah.
okay. I got to talk to him on the phone. He was really nice.
Yeah.
Really funny.
Yeah, the first time I was on there was when I asked him on one of their live streams if how do you get in, and he goes, oh, and the nice things they said was, we would love to have you, Nathan, and that was a little while ago. Then I decided, okay, I'm going to show this video I made about my coal mine locomotives, and then first I couldn't use I had to use Google Chrome because I can't use what it starts with an S. That's something with the internet.
Are you?
Oh,
Are you?
wait, what?
I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what were you talking about anyway?
Well, I had to use like Google Chrome to because that's the only thing that works for the live stream there, and
Oh, were you talking about Skype?
it's not Skype. It's actually it's a website that does their own shows. That's how they did theirs.
Oh, I see.
And the first time I used a different I didn't use Google Chrome, so that kind of messed things up, and then that got the guy a little late. But then the second time that worked pretty good.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty neat of how SMT did his locomotive, his real locomotive.
His real locomotive?
I'm sorry, I meant the speeder.
I know. I was saying that was one of the most entertaining videos I've seen in a long time. I don't know. It was just the way the whole thing was presented. I loved that video. And I was talking about that on the live stream. I thought his dad built that or something. And it was Mark from M&M Rails came in and said, no, Scrumptious built that himself.
Yeah.
You look at like how he set up that motor and had the chain going through it and the gear on the axle and everything. That's absolutely brilliant. I can't believe he did that.
Yeah.
See the headlight on it and everything too?
Yeah. And, well, actually, I think no offense, but I think I was kind of jealous of I went to make my own spear, then I tried to look up the wheels that he was using, and it turns out they're like, I found out the same type of thing. They're called truck wheels, but I think they're bearings.
Yes, I couldn't believe it. It was really cool. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Run around on that. Yeah, there's some neat stuff around them. I didn't know that was out there in Ottawa. There was that other video where he showed those old passenger cars.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw that. They look European. That's out by Gatineau or something.
Yeah.
He's a really smart guy.
Yeah. He said, I asked him one time if he could give me a shout out because before that I was not at 300, and he goes, sure, Nathan, and in a very nice friendly way, and then he and then he said I was a big fan of his channel, and then he asked me if I could build a jet train, and then a little while later I kind of didn't. I wasn't too sure. And then when he made the video about making a cab for his locomotive, that's when I did the locomotive of the jet train, and then that's how it all started.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, my mom says I gotta get going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Thanks for having me on.
It was nice having you too.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna see you at Steamtown?
Yeah, my dad's going there. I might bring a friend, but he's not certain. He's John S. So one of the shout outs I did.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
But I'm not certain because that's what he said.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm excited. I can't wait to meet you in person.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
Awesome. Okay, well, thanks, Nathan.
You're welcome.
I'll say bye to everybody on your live stream.
Okay.
Alright, I will cut out.
Okay.
Hey, take care.
You too. See ya.
Alright, bye-bye.
That's it for the live stream, everyone. Sorry, I would like to continue, but I think my mom is not letting me continue in a good way. So, see everybody. I hope this was entertaining, and see you for the next video.